And I like. Is he just plain or what do you?
Is this,
Do you spread it or do you dip it?
it's live stream, but it moves to the internet. Just name it up there.
Yeah, so like it's like covering. You should pay. You could. Yeah, like be upgraded to water receptacle because. Like double. Make sure I
It looks like it's last year, but I couldn't find a place to type the number of it. Password, so it must already be there.
Thank you all for coming. Call the meeting to order. Lawson.
Yes.
White.
yes.
Bill. Yes. Nelson.
Yes.
Moore.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call for any conflicts of interest? If not, ask for approval of the agenda.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Consent agenda.
I'll make the motion that we approve the consent agenda.
I'll second it.
Okay, Josh?
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Tillman.
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Okay, public hearing on the authorization of a loan agreement on the issuance of notes to evidence an obligation of the city thereafter, which is the sewer line project.
Do you need a motion to go on the, open the public hearing? I'll make a motion that we go into public hearing.
I'll second.
Josh.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Tillman. Yes. Nelson.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Okay, any comments?
The city city's gonna use, storm sewer funds for this project, correct? Jim,
What's that?
Storm sewer fund, yeah.
sewer funds,
Yeah, very.
Storm or sanitary?
Sanitary. same.
But the resolution states that it's raising taxes, property taxes. Using it from the debt service.
General obligation, no.
$375,000, right, for second avenue?
What's that?
Yeah, it's a general obligation, no.
It's general obligation, general obligation.
Right.
Like, I could have swore that Elizabeth said that.
She did, but it's not accurate. She sent another email to the lady.
Oh, yeah.
And the lady responded back and explained it in more detail.
That was the email where she said we charge up to 3412 more for a house valued at.
Yeah, and it's also right in the resolution.
If we chose to do it during the budget period.
How they work is they go automatically to property taxes. I mean, we could choose to pay it off with other monies, but property taxes would be raised.
Yeah, I have no certainty either way. What do you think? Yes.
Ask them if they have any. Does anybody
Have any questions?
comments or questions on the public hearing? What's that?
Your motion.
Second Avenue South Northeast?
Second Avenue East, it's gonna start at the railroad tracks, just north of the railroad tracks and go to Second Street South.
About 4 blocks, right? 4 blocks, 5 blocks, 4 blocks.
Something, you know.
Yeah, 4 blocks.
And what is the issue with that system right there?
The sanitary sewer was placed right next to In 1960, that sanitary sewer was replacing the original one from 36. And they left the old one right in there, and so that's a great place for I&I to make it into our sewer system to go to the treatment plant, which is basically groundwater that we don't need to treat out there. So our project is I'm trying to get it lined to seal off all of that infiltration and then put new services to the, new plastic services to the property line that are active. And then there'd be replacement of the two manholes on Second Street and Second Avenue Southeast. That would be combined into one manhole, and then on First Street South, First Street Northeast and Second Avenue would be the replacement of the top 5 or 6 feet of that manhole. And then rehabbing the rest of them, which would either be a grout lining or, I don't know if that's really decided yet. They were thinking they were gonna keep the manholes in there and just be able to rehab them somehow. Either reline with the concrete or gravel.
So it reduced the amount of water that we're taking at the water treatment plant because there'd be less.
Yes, I'm trying to get less flow into the sewer plant. That's the major trunk line on the east side of town where all the auxiliary sewer lines run into, and then that carries it all the way out to the sewer plant. That's the start of it, or the top of it, I should say.
Any other comments or questions?
The sewer line on the,
What's that?
the sewer line on First Avenue, north. I think. It's, on the east side.
First Avenue, I don't think would be affected at all.
No,
There's a black top on that manhole cover. And there's every time you go to drive over it. It's all that. Even that little black top. Not sure if that's part of that issue right there.
Yeah, we're having a hard time hearing you up here, yeah. Stand up. Yeah, go ahead and say that again.
I know that, manhole covering on, Center Street East, on, like, between First Avenue and Second Avenue.
what about it?
And one time I had to drive over to, South Tire,
Is this the box out in the street avenue?
and it just hits, the edge of the concrete area.
Yeah, the street is settled and the manhole hasn't, so that's box out, the manhole box out, that 4-foot square is basically being held up by the sanitary sewers. So when the road goes up and down after 40-some years, there might be a little bit of difference in the road.
So that,
That's not on this project right now.
Yeah, but we can bring it up, John. We can look at it sometime. Any other comments?
I'll make a motion, we close the public hearing.
Your second?
yes.
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 Weiss.
Yes.
Tillman. Yes. Nelson.
Yes,
Moore.
Yes.
Okay. What's your thoughts?
Are we voting on it later? Under mayor's report, number E, or letter E?
This is our public hearing.
Right, we did the public hearing, but we don't vote on it until later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was on today's agenda.
It is, under E,
Okay, she.
under yours, yeah. So it's down there a little bit.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay, department heads, Linda, library report.
Together with the librarian from Canala, we visited the West Hancock Middle School, distributing library cards to the seventh grade students in early September. I think this was the 4th year we have done that, working with the school. Last, our Britt library after school time began on September 18th. This is the programming for kids in grades K through 4 on scheduled early out days. The state annual report was completed and submitted to the state library on September 17th, so ahead of the deadline. A few statistics from that survey. Our collection includes 17,000 books, 1,100 audios, 1,500 videos, and access to over 102,000 ebooks and 45,000 audiobooks. We had a circulation last year of almost 14,000 items, nearly 500 or 5,000 children's items, and over 3,100 electronic materials. We have over 1,200 registered borrowers. Our door count came in at 15,500 annually. Our computer use was nearly 3,000. The Wi-Fi use was over 4,200. And under programs, we did 123 programs for children under 11 with attendance of almost 800, 22 programs for young adult to adult with over 250 attending. I attended the North Iowa Learning Circuit in Clear Lake on September 26th. The focus of this training was on generative AI, noting copyright, citation, and circumspection. The library board received a challenge to materials on September 13th. The library board of trustees met on September 17th and voted 6-0 to retain the book. On September 22nd, I received a request to inspect library records under the Iowa Open Records Law, and this has been referred to the city attorney, Earl Hill, for a response. I attended the LINK meeting, which is Libraries in North Central in Mason City today. And just note, I will be on vacation October 30th to November 15th.
Good, thank you. Any questions for Linda?
Not a question, but I just wanted to say that we're fortunate to have the library in our community because of these numbers. If you look at it,
Absolutely.
the amount of people who benefit from our library is significant. So I'm grateful for all the work that they do there.
Very good. Thank you. Public Works Vance.
We started the month, we drained the water tower, the east one. Had a new mixer installed. Bolton Mink sent a guy down to inspect the tower for us, give us a idea on when we need to hook that one inside and out. We had a meeting with the DOT about the highway intersection. They want us to paint crosswalks going north and south across the highway. I had talked to Iowa Lot Striping and they were going to do it. And they called me yesterday and said they can't do it, so I'm looking for somebody else. Site services from Algona was here for the church. The gazebo pad and the ADA ramps have been completed. We had the DNR come to the new water plant for a sanitary survey. They do that every few years. I sent that along in my report. We got the new sweeper repaired and running. We replaced 2 fire hydrants. The old water plant has been demoed and the new submersible well pump is installed. They're starting to wire that up today and tomorrow. The lead and copper survey with Marcy has taken up a lot of time in the last week. Lori, with our insurance agency, is retiring, and she brought Taylor around and we visited all the city buildings. And, pool gate had a hinge tampered with, so the gate was open between the playground and the pool. And the other gate that we used to mow the lawns was tampered with. So it took the bolt out of the hinge. So we tried to vandalize, proof that. Notify the chief of police.
Okay,
What happened to the lighted stop signs again?
Lighted stop signs,
Yeah, the ones that we approved, the purchase and
they're in
then,
my shop. The DOT took them down.
so what do we do with
We
them?
can use them, but we have to come up with a plan on how to get them working. They can't have those boxes in the highway or the right of way.
So they have to be underground?
Underground or off to the side and wire them in from the outside. I called for a estimate on a directional board, and he hasn't gotten back from me yet. And then I have to go through the DOT. The guy that came to the meeting doesn't think they do any good. But he said we can put them on. We just gotta figure out a way to get them so they're happy with it and they're functional.
I'm guessing we can't return them.
I don't know.
Iowa lot striking won't do that, or they just don't have time to do it, or what was the issue?
They won't do that. They don't have the proper signage to work on the highway.
Okay.
Or the safety issue. And she gave me some numbers to call. Like I said, that was yesterday.
I just wondered if there was, some type of legal reason, or they just didn't want to.
Safety, more or less. DOT's pretty tight on their signage when they're out there working on the highway.
That makes sense.
They put in the stop bar in there, but we have to maintain that.
Did they put the barrels around the signs?
They did. They put the barrels around the signs and moved the big stop signs in a foot. And another stop ahead sign on the other lane, and another stop ahead sign on that side.
any other questions? Again,
DNR inspection went okay then? I read through your report, it looks like there were no real serious.
Yeah. Yes, he was very thorough. He was there about 4 hours.
I suppose Brandon plan.
Yep.
So what type of timeline do they give you to remedy some of those things? You said it's not an annual inspection, so is it
It
like,
depends on the severity of the deficiency. So like, we don't really have any deficiencies, but there's some things that he suggested or recommended. I have to have a response letter back by October 23rd with either the remedy or the plan to remedy. Like, one of them was the lead and copper survey.
yeah,
I mean, we're in the process of doing that, like every city in the state.
yeah, and it sounds like the only significant deficiency was remedied while
Yes.
still there.
Yep. The contractor had just extended a pipe down into the drain, and so he was afraid that could be a cross connection, and so we eliminated that right away. That was just during the installation of the RO, because there was so much water going into the drain, it was just splashing over, and now that we're running normally, it's not an issue.
any other questions? Okay, extended deadline for
much.
Yeah, I didn't realize that there's nobody, she just said something about that the other day, and
Yeah.
I know somebody had reached out to us about it, when we had one of the dump trucks for sale, about putting it up for an auction on one of the government auction sites. So I suppose that'll probably be the next step.
Yeah, so it said, looks like in these notes that she wants us to consider extending the deadline to October 30th to 3 PM. And then probably that'd be the next step,
Okay,
according to this.
yep,
What do you think a good price for that would be?
Whatever you can get.
yeah. I'd like to have as many zeros as you guys would, but
Yeah, I mean, I just heard that if you couldn't get 1,000, that wouldn't be worth selling. It'd be a good backup is what I would. What's your thoughts on that? I know then you gotta have a place to put it.
yeah. I'm already looking for a place to put the other one,
Yeah,
So say,
that's too high, right?
yes,
How high do you have to have?
12 foot.
12-foot door? Anybody in here know any place with a 12-foot
It fits in
door?
that building over there, it's just,
Does?
yeah, we just gotta winterize it. If I can find a place where we're gonna have to winterize it.
Okay. Okay.
I'll make a motion that we extend the deadline until October 31st at 3 PM.
30.
October 30th at 3 PM, sorry.
I'll second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Period. Police report, Tyler.
I have my report. We have a total of 72 calls between September 3rd and 30th. We got our new computers back. We got them up and running and put into the cars. Finally got the truck radio in. We got that switched over. We also got new tires put on the truck. Those were needed. Izzy's last day was on the 23rd, and we had the position open, and that closed as of today. So I think the last I saw, we were at 3 or 4 applications. I assisted with the Iowa Farm Bureau Ag Fair out of the fairgrounds for 3rd graders with Western County and Garner schools. So they got to come out and take a look at the car and see all the fun things. And I forgot to put it on here, but we did get new lights and pictures put into the TV as well. I got that done last week. That's done. And then it's not on here also, but I put out a Facebook post today about it. Just maybe something to look into for future reference, but with our dog at large ordinance, we have had just an abundance of dog at large calls this year. I don't know what the deal is, but I don't know if it's something we need to bump up our fines or what, but just something to maybe look at for next meeting we can meet on.
Yeah, I talked to Jordan a little bit about that today. And you guys have problems because when you see a dog, you don't necessarily know if it's somebody's dog or if it's a stray dog. Or whose it is. So that's a big problem.
Sometimes there's collars and tags on them, and sometimes there's not.
Yeah.
And if not, we have to send them either to a Garner vet or a Clemmy vet. But we've had quite a few dog bites this year. Dogs attacking other dogs, chasing people down. Like I've had numerous people come up to me and say they can't take their dogs on a walk. Not because there's so many dogs that get loose and chasing down the road. So it's been an issue all summer long. mean, Jordan had 3 calls just this morning about dogs that large.
Yeah.
So it's an issue
Did all of those get fined?
for the most part.
And it's $25 right now.
For the first offense, yeah.
Yeah.
And if it's, first offense is 25, second is 50, third is 100. And then if it's any time after that, we can start impounding the dog, and then they'll have to pay for impoundment fees and all that.
Would raising that make any difference, do you think?
It might help people keep their dogs in their yard and on a leash, or you get a, I know there's some in town that have like those invisible fences, those underground fences,
Right.
or shock collars, or something to help, and obedience to help keep them in the yard.
Does your department have the ability to scan microchips?
I know, when I was on the Fort City, we had a little reader, so we could do it, but we don't have one here. Might be something to look at.
I just know like our dog is microchipped, so.
We usually just bring them up to the vet and check them. If they're not, then that's when we'll take them to the vet, or either Garner or Tony, because Britt, the vet doesn't hold on to dogs, they can board them.
Just a quick question, Tyler. When you take them up to the vet, does he charge you read chips?
Okay. Any questions for Tyler? Talked about the resolution updating the employee handbook on police on-call policy. We talked about that at the last meeting and have it here rewritten up. We also, we lost a police officer since we talked about that, so we'll be interviewing again. And how are you coming on application?
I think we, like, I think last I checked, we were at 3 or 4, under exactly, but I know for sure 3.
Yeah.
So,
Anybody local?
those that closed today.
Anybody local or that will move here?
I think all, for the 3 that I know are all local. I think all 3 of them actually live in Fort City. So, I don't know if they would move. I know one of them was, he applied last time. I know during the interview, he said he would move here. I might be one to look at, but
Yeah, okay. Well, this resolution basically changes the on-call to read, I'll read it here. Police officers on-call, hourly employees that are required to be on-call will be compensated half their hourly wage for each hour they are on call. Officers should work a minimum of 80 hours per period. 2 weeks before on-call hours will be paid. Vacation, sick, or personal time can be used for each 80 hours of work. Employees called out must respond in a reasonable time, and this is the difference. But in no case shall the response time be greater than 30 minutes. Changing that from 45 minutes. What's your thoughts on that? Does that still sound good to you?
I think that sounds good. I think might need to look to just into if they're not willing to move to town, then I'd say the only shift they'd be able to work is the evening shift. I just think that we run into issues a little bit there. But I think that sounds good. But I think, yeah, I think if we could get officers to move here, great. And whether we have an incentive right now of, I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but if they move here, we pay them more extra.
Yeah.
But I just think if they're they don't want to move. I'm okay with them living outside of town within that 30 miles. But if they choose to stay where they're at, and not move to town, then I think the only shift they go to work is the evening shift. If they want to work the day shift and take call, then they have to move either in town or like within 5 miles.
Okay.
Or something.
Because they wouldn't be able to respond in a timely manner. Is that what you're
Yeah.
thinking?
And that's, we've had discussions, Jim and I, and yeah, I think we might run into issues there.
What's your thoughts, guys?
I'll offer the resolution amending the on-call policy for the police department.
Second.
Ross,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Hillman. Yes. Nelson.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Fire Department, John.
You should have my report. We had 3 calls for September. Training for the month was pump training with hydrants, cleaned inventory, personal gear, and the trucks. Went to a new co-op and to Landis for business tours. McQueen Fire Department, our fire equipment tested the MSA SCBA's for the yearly test. They all passed. Field Film Fire was here, tested the pumps on the 2 engines. They passed. That's a yearly test. Fire Prevention Week is October 7th, 8th, and 9th at the school, the elementary school. October 16th, we're going to have the Hancock County Fire Association here, and we're going to have WAS discuss what is needed for them, between them and us. We work together at structure fires and accident scenes, just kind of going over what we do together, and if we need to address anything. Got a grant for DNR grant. It's a matching grant of $9,000. And I also applied for one from the Lay Foundation. And Elizabeth has got a FEMA grant in for PPE clothes for the rest of the fire department. And she is in charge person with FEMA on that. And I don't know how that's gonna work. But she said she's gonna work with us and we'll work together with that, so. And just keep her in race with that, so.
What does that mean?
That means she's got control still. Burn ban starts tomorrow, Wednesday at 10:30. Or, no, 11:30, excuse me, 11:30 tomorrow. For the Hancock, for all of Hancock County. The fire departments in the county all approved that, and we've already had, southern part of the county's had 2 fires already. One Beanfield did today and one yesterday, so.
That's tomorrow, you said?
Tomorrow, 11:30.
And that'll be until
Till it's over. That means mans can't burn trees with tree down.
I was just at the golf course today talking out there, and they do burn the rough.
They
I
asked,
don't know out there, but they'll just have to wait.
they
It's
asked,
not ready yet anyway.
they asked me if we could come out and burn that for them.
Okay, good.
So I was in contact with that today too.
Okay, good. Any questions? Zoning, Mike?
Yes, you should have my report for September. Permits issued during the month of September. Destiny Whitman, 432 First Avenue Southeast. She put up a 7 by 10 foot deck and steps. J&A Outdoor Equipment at 218, they got a new sign, a bunch of new signage going on out there. That's a new equipment place on the north end of town here on Highway 18. People that I've talked with about zoning, Jamie and Brian Smith delivered a permit form for a fence. Destiny Whitman, questions about deck and steps. Steve Whitty talked with him about his pergola. Matthew Vasky delivered a permit to him for a pergola. Jeremy Rickliff's sign questions, and Deb Spink had questions about putting a deck on the front of her house.
Okay, good. She's gonna get that permit?
Steve, I know he's still dragging his feet.
Okay. Any other questions for Mike?
I got one. What's being done with the junkyard on First Street, northeast, and the corrugated add-on on Third Street? I'm pretty sure there's an ordinance in the books that states that there's no junkyards in city limits. If you go down and look across and down in Craig Shop, there's a junkyard there.
Yeah.
And I know there's been people that told they can't put like work style steel on their garage, and they're specifically prohibited in the ordinance to have grade corrugated tin. And there's a building there.
Across from the Catholic Church?
Yep. This grade corrugated tin. And they're both expressly prohibited in ordinances. What's being done with it? Are we ignoring those?
Didn't we abate that one out there?
I did it in first, I know he's been working on it. I just stopped by there the other day, and he was hauling stuff out.
Is there somebody new living there by chance?
No, he's been living there.
Okay. That's what I thought. Yeah, we gotta get
I
that.
don't understand why you have to abate it. Is there any difference in a traffic ordinance? I mean, if it's illegal, correct?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a housing ordinance.
Well, I think you gotta, where you have
It's
to
just like,
abate-
it's just like a nuisance ordinance.
I understand where you have to abate a nuisance. But when you've got something that's 100% strictly prohibited in the ordinances, does that have to be abated?
Yeah.
Or can that just be written?
Yeah, I think we ought to be able to just talk to Earl and give him 30 days or something to get it cleaned up.
Is one of those down by Kane and Joe Goodhue's?
My where?
Kane and Joe Goodhue? Down
Oh,
on the
that's a
hospital
whole
road?
other story right there.
Because I got contacted about that one.
Yeah. No, these are the ones that have been ongoing. This is the one across from Johnny's Crash Shop.
Okay.
And then the one down by the Catholic Church. And this has been ongoing, this isn't recently. They you just mentioned, which, yeah, that's another story.
I don't know what they're doing down there, but it's,
Goodhue says he's gonna take care of that. And he tells me that every time I call him, I call him 2 or 3 times.
but it's not Goodhue. It's not there.
Across the street.
It's there across.
Oh, you're talking about the junk pile on the other side of the street?
Yeah, it's across the street.
But the other building that's supposed, has got permit to be moved, and he hasn't moved it yet, but that's good news, the one across the street. I have not contacted him yet, that looks more like a,
Yeah, it's, I don't know what they're doing. I mean, it looks like they're having a big old yard sale with junk. I don't know what they're doing.
I'm guessing,
It's horrible.
my feeling is it's probably gonna be moved from down there to down here. All you're gonna do is move the mess.
Yep.
Yeah, I would definitely check with Earl on that.
I can check with Earl tomorrow. I'm standing in for, and so, and we talk here.
You got it all,
Tom Riley's attorney out of Des Moines.
So I can talk to them. Because we've done some things in court.
Yeah. Okay, any other questions for Mike on the zoning or any other? Okay, golf course. Anything you guys want to add? We haven't yet a golf course meeting, I filled in, but Todd, you got anything out there?
Not really.
Okay.
So I was unable to be there, because of the short notice, but did they talk about anything that they're doing in order to, reduce the expenditures through the end of the year?
Yeah.
Because these bills, they
cut
can't
the-
keep coming to the city.
They cut the hours way down. And the good thing is, they had over 8,000 hours.
So why
So
are
they can start paying for some bills. We left some bills there,
the, like,
and they're gonna have to pay for payroll. But yeah, if, we're gonna keep an eye on that and make sure we get that used up before we get anything, but,
yeah, because they're, like, we have a lease agreement with them that was signed,
yeah.
like, it's active through the end of the year, and none of these things are the city's responsibility. We own the property, but
Right.
these are their bills. So, I guess, are we just,
And that's up to you guys. If you don't wanna pay them, we can turn back into that. If they, yeah. That's your choice. I was at that meeting, and one thing they did, the main reason for the meeting was to cut the hours down. And they've done that. And then they talked about what needed to be done to get ready for the winter and so forth, and, what plans were for out there, health-wise. Tammy's no more longer out there. She is gonna keep filling in for every other weekend mowing, but out there today, they haven't had to mow rough for a week because of no rain, you know? So that's gonna help the labor part quite a bit. But yeah, there is, and the other thing about the golf course that I can throw out is that, I spent an hour and a half there today with a guy that wanted to look at to buy. So there's possibility. Hopefully we'll have more of that. You know, but,
Jim, could you speak up a little louder, please?
yeah. Yeah, there was, I spent about an hour and a half there today with a guy that's looking at potential buyer of the golf course. And, we went around, visited every hole. It's amazing how good the greens look. It's just, some people say 5 years, some people say they haven't looked at it in 20 or 7 years. So, Grassmasters did a very good job. Cost us a lot of money, but it really looks nice right now. Really does. Still problems with no water. There's a leak out there on number 2, I believe, that they gotta fix, but, kind of a minor one, I believe, but, they'll get that taken care of. So what is your feeling on the golf invoices?
so how were these presented to you? Like, how were these invoices presented to you? It's like, oh, we don't have any money, city pay them, or, because now they have money.
Yeah, they do have money. Okay.
I think it needs to come back to us after they've,
After they're out of money.
yeah, like,
Okay.
I know they have payroll yet, but these,
That's fine with me.
because this is almost $3,500.
Yeah, and that wasn't all. There was some we already sent back.
Well, yeah, most of these things are like operational.
Yeah.
All of them are.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not opposed to addressing it if they can't, but if they have money in the account,
Yeah,
I don't think the city should be responsible for paying the electric bill.
That reunion day took in a little over $3,000. That was really good.
And I think that third, like the 21st, September 21st, the golf course was packed because of a reunion out there.
Yeah, that's the one.
So,
Yep, okay, we'll just have Elizabeth.
so do we need a motion?
Probably would be good. That way they know they've got the say of the council.
I'll make a motion that we send those invoices back to the golf course.
Second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Carried. Approved pay app number 26 and 27 to Hinkle Construction for $11,875 and $92,680.
I'll make that motion that we approve pay applications number 26 and 27 Tank Construction for $11,875 and $92,680.02 respectively.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Second reading of ordinance 658 water rates. What this is the ordinance that changes the dollar increase from a percentage to a dollar value. Like instead of a percentage a year from 24 to 25, usage change per 1,000 gallons was $12.52, 25, 26, $12.90, 26, 27, 13, 29, 27, 28, 13, 69, 28, 29, 14, 10, 29, 30, 14, 52, 30, 31, 14, 96, 31, 32, 15, 41, 32, 33, 15, 87, and 33, 34, 16, 35. Per 1,000 gallons.
And Jim, if I remember correctly, at our last regular council meeting, Elizabeth had said that the 3% increase covers the loan payment for the water rates, or the water rate 3%, or the dollar amount that'll cover the loan that we have for the water treatment plant. Is that correct?
Yes.
And the only reason why we're switching it from a percentage to the actual dollar amount was because of the NICOG.
Yeah, commercial properties are a little different than looking out there, they're a little bit different.
What is the ordinance numbers on these?
658.
That's not an ordinance number, that's a section number. We're amending a section for an ordinance, but there's no ordinance number.
Yeah, and they're just.
Like at one time, it used to be 5,
Yeah, I have a book right here.
50. I mean, it's changed and, at one time it was like 505, and then another time it was like 514, and now we're not even having an ordinance number. That's not, I don't think that's very legal.
Well, yeah, and on this paper, it doesn't even say the ordinance number, it just says ordinance 658.
It's ordinance number 505 according to the internet.
Yeah, and that's an old one. Because according to you guys last year, you guys redid it and changed it last year to like 514.
Unfortunately, our city administrator is not here, so.
Well, I don't think you can approve an ordinance without an ordinance number.
Everybody sure get that? I don't have a book here, but pull it out and look.
What does our stand-in attorney say?
You should have a number.
Thank you.
Get back to next meeting.
Table that, and the other ones. Table C and D as well. Now we're down to the payment. The resolution instituted the city to take additional action on a $375,000 general obligation loan note sewer project.
I'll offer that resolution. Instituting proceedings to take additional action on the $375,000 general obligation loan note for the sewer project. Second Avenue East.
I'll second it.
Any other discussion? That does have all the numbers in there. Page 3. Any other questions or discussion? Josh?
Yes.
Weiss?
Yes.
Billman? Yes. Nelson?
No.
Moore?
No.
Okay. Property release. Then put on there, copy of lease for a copy that I did not include in the packet, but I've got it right here. It's $63 a month, or 63-month term, excuse me, $207.37 a month. Currently spending $222.21 a month.
Is it with the same person, do you know? Do you know if they're using the same company, or if it's a new company that we're working with?
Same company,
Okay,
Visual Edge IT.
nice, that's cheaper. I'll make a motion approving the copier lease with Visual Edge for, say the actual amount. Okay, 208.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Carried. And I'm looking on here, and she has written down her Visual Edge, both of these are Visual Edge. Currently spending $222.21, but it doesn't say it's necessary with Visual Edge, but it is on their paper, so I'm guessing that's what it is. It is cheaper. Okay, y'all received a copy of the deputy city clerk's resignation. And so we need to accept the resignation for Marcy. And then talk about okay advertising to take a spot.
So it looks like there's two parts to the motion that Elizabeth left. She wants us to either approve the resignation and yes or no to whether we are going to pay out her sick leave of 125.75 hours. You know what that dollar amount is?
No, I should. But she's currently getting 250. So we can do that too, if you want to just accept resignation and do the payout and approach that different. Second, that's fine.
I'll make a motion, we approve her resignation.
I'll second it.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Yeah, advertise. Fortunately, there are two people who presumably are already interested. But we still have to interview and advertise.
So we still need a motion on whether we're going to pay out Marcy's sick leave.
Yeah.
I feel like that should be separate from the advertising the position.
That's fine.
I don't know of too many jobs that when somebody quits, that they get paid out for their sick leave.
I don't, and you know what, I didn't think about it, I did not read the,
Should have an employee handbook. Employee handbook,
yes.
what it states in there.
Have you guys read that lately?
But you need to see, you know, like vacation, I don't.
What's that?
I think it's just vacation, not sick, I don't know.
I don't know how you can contemplate paying off sick leave when you don't even know about the dollar amount.
Okay, because if it's the total, if it's per hourly wage, $925,
Yeah, we can figure it out.
$2,700. Not saying that the work she does isn't appreciated, it's just,
Sick leave is generally a benefit that you receive if you're sick or in the hospital or off work for some reason, that is paid out. That would be severance.
Well, I think it's like you said, you're gonna look at your employee handbook first, see what it states. Then I think you need a dollar amount. I think you can't just write a blank check.
Do you know where the employee handbook's at to look at it?
What's that?
Do you know where the employee handbook's at to look at it?
I don't know where it's at in there, I'm not sure if it's found it. But,
I'll make a motion that we approve the advertisement of the position.
okay.
I'll second.
Yeah, I don't remember ever paying out sick leave before. Maybe they have, but we've never discussed it at a meeting before. I know that.
There's probably a reason you haven't discussed it in the past, because it's probably in the employee handbook that it's not paid out.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would have more than likely come up in the past when someone else is resigning.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I would think if it was in the employee handbook, that it would be paid out, but it wouldn't even be a question.
Right. Okay, Halloween trick or treat. 31st is on a Thursday. Everybody in favor of Thursday? We used to go at different times than they have in the last few years. And I think it's a good idea. I think we changed it to sooner, did we not? Earlier? It used to be, it used to be 5 to 7.
I think it still is 5
I
to
thought
7.
it was 6 to 8 last
On here it says 5 to 7.
5 to 7. Yeah.
I don't know. 8 o'clock's awfully
Yeah, it's dark then, you know, and, it's a good time to end it.
I'll make a motion that we set trick or treating for Thursday, October 31st from 5 to 7.
I'm thinking that. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Yeah, the Chambers is not on Halloween Day. I just saw it in the paper. When is it, like
It's
the
supposed to be
28th or something?
26th,
26th.
I believe. I'm pretty sure it's the 26th.
Is that the one that, like, when I got me?
Yeah, and then I know, you know, obviously the chamber wants to use the news program if it's available. And then, I want to say the Christian Reformed Church are doing their trunk or treat too,
They're gonna do something too,
at the same time. So I think, I remember Amy talking about that she contacted Elizabeth to find out if that day was gonna work. So I thought.
For
it
trick or
would be on the
treating?
agenda.
For trick or treating too, you're talking, or?
Yeah, well, for
Or just for that?
For the,
for
for
here?
the, being able to utilize the room and then
Yeah,
having it on the street, you know.
yeah, I think it's good.
Is the road, is it blocked off at that
I don't
time?
remember.
No, they don't.
They don't, okay.
So maybe it is,
So-
but being that the road isn't. closed,
Okay.
we don't have to vote on it.
Okay,
Because I know usually the road is closed, that's something we have to vote on.
But do you want the trunk or treating and the regular trick or treating at the same time, or?
we don't,
No,
no.
no.
It's always, that whole thing is always on Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I mean, it'd be great if it could be all together, but it just doesn't work.
We had to send the people who are working, would be able to take the kids.
Yeah.
Because I think Kanawha, do they do their trick or treating at a different time?
I can't remember.
Because they have a lot of communities that are
I know Forest City does theirs the same night they have trick or treat. But what they discovered, what the residents have discovered is when they have their, whatever they call theirs, I don't know what they call theirs, trunk or treat or whatever. The people aren't going to the houses. They're just going uptown and then going home.
oh,
So
yeah.
I don't think it would be a good idea to have, you
I
know.
didn't know if they did it at the same time. No small children.
Okay. Okay, I censorship, I went to, September 18th through 20th. I went to Sioux City and attended the Iowa League of Cities Convention, annual conference. And, I just share that because some of these seminars that I attended, were pretty interesting. The first day, Wednesday, there's only one seminar, and it's a 2-hour seminar, and it was on Tim Shields, and Tim Shields is famous with Iowa City. Endowment Leadership Seminar, Leading with Civility. And then on Thursday, I went to a seminar entitled, How Not to Get Yelled At and Why You Should Not. And then in the afternoon, I went to another seminar that was entitled, An Employee Complained They Were Being Harassed at Work, Now What? And the reason why I shared it, I went to a housing seminar, I went to a really interesting planning and zoning fundamentals seminar that was very interesting. But I say these other things for one reason, and that is to say that this is a problem. And it's not a problem just in Britt, Iowa. Otherwise it wouldn't be out here. And so it's important. During this seminar on civility, they had in there about 4 or 5 samples that towns have written up civility agreements that every employee, future employee, anybody that applies for the city has to read and sign. And Oldwine had a really good one. So my intentions are to write one up for the city of Britt, and then we'll present it at a future council meeting and see if we can get that put into ours and have people sign it, because it's, and I think everybody, not only that it's hired, but also that, it serves in any capacity. The city should sign that. It's very important. So I say that. And we had a problem a month ago, and a few months ago, we had a smaller problem here that I thought Jeff Moore got out of line, and I called him up the next day and see if he would apologize to Elizabeth. And he said, no, I don't do that. He said, that's how you get things done.
And what date was this on, Jim?
When I called you,
Yes.
I have no idea, but it was about 3 or 4 months ago. You remember the phone call? Because you told me no. And anyway,
But before you go forward, Jim, because the next point you're gonna bring up is the September 3rd meeting. There has been no formal investigation by a neutral party into allegations made by City Administrator Elizabeth Avera and Deputy Clerk Marcy Malin about what took place on Tuesday, September 3rd, after the City Council meeting had been adjourned and the meeting was over. Present after the meeting was Councilperson Nelson and myself, City Administrator Elizabeth Avera, and Deputy Clerk Marcy Malin, and Mayor Jim Nelson. Mayor Nelson was at first preoccupied talking to someone else across the room. When Marcy Malin came over to harass, intimidate, and coerce myself and Councilperson Nelson as to why we voted no on an ordinance they alleged were just amendments to prior ordinances without giving us the prior amendments, which came up again tonight. So we had to skip over those three because we still do not have that information. And asked us why we are voting no and tried to intimidate us as to, you have no choice on this. The DNR mandates this. It's exactly what they told us. The DNR does not mandate that we have to do this. The DNR will mandate that we have clean water, but does not mandate how we have to pay for it or anything else. And they were telling us that that is what we have to do. It isn't going to matter because it has to pass because it's being mandated. And last I knew, this is the United States of America. We can vote how we want to vote without being intimidated or harassed by somebody else, especially a city employee, on how we have to vote.
I don't think they went over to intimidate at all. I don't think.
You don't think so, but you do not know because there's not been any type of investigation. You were across the room talking to somebody else. You did not know what they were doing or saying. Unless you know what they were doing and saying, and you can read their mind and you know what I was doing or saying also.
I heard three of those.
Three of those.
And I heard yell.
Do you realize that after the meeting was adjourned, it was still being recorded?
No.
No, that is not on there. And at that, I
So
will,
you're saying I didn't hear that?
I don't know what you heard. I'm not gonna put words in your mouth like you're doing, because there's not been any formal investigation.
Tom is the attorney that wrote the censure paper. Go ahead, Tom, you're gonna think of that.
Have you handed out the motion to the? You haven't got one. While they're handing them out, I'll introduce myself. I'm Tom Ruffley. Probably a lot of the city council members don't know this, but I'm your assistant city attorney. I have worked with Earl Hill for probably over 20 years. In fact, he's got my name on one of his office doors here, and I'm up here all the time. I know quite a few people in Britt. A number of years ago, I've represented the city in court a number of times, and Earl thought it'd be easier if I was assistant city attorney, so he wouldn't have to come to the council every time and say, can Tom do this for the city? So I became your assistant city attorney. So I just wanted you to understand, why I'm up here. And I've, in the past, early in my career, I represented three municipalities at one time. And so I'm familiar with municipal law. Now, I was asked to write a motion to censure Councilman Moore. Now, there were probably, well, there are a lot of reasons, I think, for this motion. But two of the important reasons is, number one, that they wanted Councilman Moore to understand the seriousness of the situation that he has created. Because when you're an elected official, you are expected to conduct yourself in a professional manner and be respectful to people, even though you might disagree with them, to be respectful. And in this situation, it was known to the city council and the mayor that Councilman Moore had been unprofessional and had exhibited disrespectful conduct against some employees of the city. The second reason for this motion is that the council knows that the employees of Britt, city of Britt, and the citizens of Britt expect that the council members and mayor conduct themselves in the best interest of the city. And that if they feel that anybody, any city council member is not doing that, then there's a breach of the standard that which all council members are expected to comply. Now, when it's known by the city that a situation like this exists, it's expected by the community that the council and mayor do something about it. You just can't push it under the rug and say, okay, we have a situation here. Because it can cause, I'm not saying it would, but it can cause liability. If people file claims against the city for hostile working environment and all the other things that you read about in the paper. So it's important, and I think what the mayor said and what he found out in Sioux City at this seminar, that, you know, and I hope you can draft that or ask our office to draft it. And Earl and I can do it. But that people understand you're an elected official, you have a duty. And so this is the reason for this motion tonight. And how do you want to do it, Mayor? Do you want the motion to be read or not? Or
I'll read it.
okay, then we'll have the mayor read it. And I'll just sit up here. If there's any questions, you can ask me or the mayor.
Okay, it's a resolution. Resolution entitled Censuring Council Member Jeffrey Scott Moore. Whereas the mayor and the Britt City Council require that the mayor and all city council members behave in a professional and respectful manner and show respect to all employees of the city and all citizens of the community. Whereas it is necessary for good and effective government that the employees of the city and the citizens of Britt have confidence in the city council and mayor. Whereas employees of the city of Britt and the citizens of Britt expect that the council members and mayor conduct themselves in the best interest of the city and that the city council take appropriate action if it is obvious that there is a breach of the standard of conduct to which all council members are expected to comply. Whereas it has come to the attention of the mayor and the city council, the council member Jeffrey Scott Moore has not met the expectations of performing his duty as a council member for Britt, and that his actions have caused an hostile environment among the employees of Britt and other council members. Whereas Jeffrey Scott Moore's actions have tarnished the reputation of the city of Britt and its governing body, and whereas it is the duty of the mayor and city council to pass a resolution censuring the conduct of council member Jeffrey Scott Moore in his role as the city council member. Therefore, the Britt City Council hereby formally censures council member Jeffrey Scott Moore regarding his hostile conduct towards the employees of the city of Britt, and hereby directs council member Jeffrey Scott Moore to cease and desist all unprofessional and disrespectful conduct against any employee of the city. It is expected that council member Jeffrey Scott Moore shall comply with all the aspects of this resolution of censure. Does anybody want to forward that resolution?
There's no resolution number.
How long is that resolution?
If you need to be a resolution.
Not the resolution number, ordinance number, there has to be resolution number, no. You can put one in there.
Okay, there's an offer, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Goss?
Yes.
Weiss?
Yes.
Hillman? Nelson?
No.
Moore?
No.
Did you have anything else you want to follow up with?
No, not right now.
Any other comments or questions?
I have a question. Did you do this? Well, clearly you haven't investigated it. Did you do this?
Did I
Ryan
investigate?
Arndorfer,
Did I investigate
did you
what?
do this when Ryan Arndorfer did what he did?
Which is Brian Arndorfer?
Did the mayor get censured when he did what he did?
I wasn't around.
I'm asking, we've got some council members here. Did Ryan Arndorfer get censured when he did what he did?
No.
No, that was major harassment. We got a huge lawsuit on our cases.
You don't think we've got basis to go on now, so we don't need another.
Um,
We don't need another one.
there has been no investigation, nothing, absolutely no investigation.
I was
And there
here.
is a recording of the whole thing.
We'll play it.
I don't have it here with me.
I was here the whole time.
So was I. You were way over there, Jim.
Yeah.
Way over there.
I was about,
Jim,
Just
way
about 10
over
feet.
there.
it was about 10 feet past where Linda's.
Jim, you were not involved in the conversation.
It doesn't make a difference. I heard it. I
I
heard it.
understand, I understand that, but we were also harassed.
Well,
We were harassed.
Okay.
And I know you don't get that, but we were.
What do you mean, I don't get that?
You don't understand, you were gone, you don't understand what
Okay,
happened.
we're gonna end this discussion. End the discussion, we've been passed. And, it's too bad, we lost two very good city employees. Very good, go ahead.
In council. I'd like you guys to know that in the state of Iowa, we have to be licensed plumbers. And I have turned him in to the state of Iowa. And everybody knows that. He come in my office threatening me. And I told law enforcement, if he does it again, there will be felony.
Thank you.
Correct?
I'm not threatening you any way, shape, or form.
And he's still doing plumbing.
No.
Mayoral appointments. I am going to change one mayoral appointment. I'm going to take Jeffrey Moore off of the tree committee and put on Todd Hill. Is there a motion for that?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Okay. I just gonna throw out just for discussion or for future, we talked about it, I didn't get it on the agenda, but Kurt and I have talked about it a little bit, or message, about going to 2 meetings a month. This year, we have had so many extra meetings, and it's not really fair for anybody involved. Actually, if we went to 2 meetings a month, we could probably slide everything into one of those 2 meetings. And if it gets down to where we don't need a meeting, we can cancel it. But we'll talk about that at our next meeting. But I decided it's something to throw out, because whoever we hire, too, it's a pain in the butt for the city staff to have to come here to meetings and so forth. And so we'll talk about that. Public comment, any public comment here? Before we do that, though, I want to say that we were planning on hoping to have Elizabeth and Marcy both here. And Elizabeth's kids have been very sick and she didn't feel very good. And again, there again, stress probably plays a part in that, but where'd my wife go?
She's in.
She's in there cutting pie. But my sweet wife made 3 apple pies today, strawberry pie, blueberry cheesecake, and a cherry cheesecake. And she's got ice cream for the apple pie. So you're welcome to stay, and that's just to commemorate our staff that's gonna be leaving. And I'll leave some for them. Take them some tomorrow. But any other public comment?
I'd like to thank both of them, please, for their actions.
I saw another hand. Somebody.
I had mine up. Last Wednesday, we were out on, fire departments out on business tours, and we had an accident on the east side of town, on Highway 18. As we were coming back into town, I didn't think much of it. Kurt noticed that we were coming up Second Street, and as we're coming up Second Street, cars are parked on both sides of the street. And just in conversation, Kurt and myself have had possibly someday talking about maybe having parking on one side of the street or the other. On all streets necessarily that wide. Some on like 3rd Street is a lot wider street. It's easier to get down, especially when you're talking about a full-size fire truck. And I'm not saying that they were speeding, but I know they were trying to be in a hurry to get to the east side where the accident was.
Well, and they had to weave.
And had to weave
down.
I'd like to make a comment on the 2 meetings a month. Former Mayor Byers can back me up on this. I remember we used to come up here on 1 meeting a month, and we'd be up here till at 11:30 on 1 meeting a month. And actually to the point where we had so much business that we went to the 2 meetings a month, instead of getting out here at 11, we'd be getting out here at 8:30 or 9, which was, for working people, was a more decent time of the night to do it. And I understand when the business is that, you have that much on your table where you need 2 meetings. But I agree with you, if you can get it all in one and still get out here at a decent time, then yeah, leave yourself the option to have a regular scheduled meeting. So nobody's surprised by it.
Yeah. Yeah, I know my first year, or first or second, when we were working on the zoning, I think, and a few other things, and we stayed in here, you and Bob, and Jeanette, we stayed here after midnight one night. And we said, that's it for that. Because you don't make wise decisions after 10 o'clock at night.
10 o'clock, very long.
Yeah, you know, and preferably before that. Yeah, I agree.
We had went several years ago, went to 2 meetings a month because we're having all these special meetings. And then when things slowed down, we went back to 1 meeting a month. So.
Well, I think that's the reason we went to 2 to start with, because we were having all these special meetings, we were working on Sunset Ridge, we were working on school, we were working on street projects, and we had so much that was going on, we couldn't get it done.
Well, if we didn't have to pick colors and what the color to paint the pool, we would have got out of here. Right, that was our biggest discussion sometimes. But, yeah, no, that's a good comment, thank you. Any other public comment? Yes.
I just want to give you a reminder that you have students in attendance
Yes.
tonight.
You guys can stay for pie and ice cream too. But I'd be glad to sign your favorites as soon as we adjourn, bring them up.
You need to introduce them.
Supposed to stand up. Go ahead. Go ahead and have a stand up. Show us who you are. Oh, go ahead. You're supposed to introduce yourself. Okay.
Isaiah Collins.
Okay. Good, thank you. Thanks for coming.
And then Mayor, I have a comment.
Yeah.
And I just, because we likely won't have a public meeting, I wanted to invite everyone October 12th from 10:30 to 12:30 at First Lutheran Church. We're going to have a waffle brunch. So carryouts are available. So if there's someone in the field, you can come get it to go.
What day is that?
October 12th, Saturday.
Saturday?
Hey, Ashley, can you send me that KLW, can you send me something for that?
Yes.
Okay. And then Ken Fetters contacted me again and said, and he showed me proof, that the same semi is driving down his little avenue again. And we talked about this before, and it is an ordinance. Why is it being allowed to happen?
Tyler, you got anything on that?
It's the, can't think of the street right now, it's,
7th Avenue, I believe.
that sounds right, 7th Avenue down by, Summit House, thank you, yes. Down by Summit House.
That's my red house there. Better is on the south side of that.
I mean,
believe it's 7.
I believe so. And we said that it was gonna be addressed, what was that, a few months ago, and they're doing it again.
Is there like a certain day, or is it every day, or?
He just sent me a picture of a specific day. I don't know if it's every day. I would assume it's a lot of days.
I'm not on the delivery.
No, the court, it's the court.
Okay. So that's going to be a certain day of the week.
I don't know how often he goes there. I have no idea. I can show you the picture. I've got it on my phone still.
Okay. Did receive one application for city administrator. That's a plus. Okay, anybody want to make a motion?
Yeah, I have one question. I'm just curious, the chain link fence around the really, really old Methodist church by the Catholic Church, is that costing the city any money at this time? Did the city put that fence?
We did.
Yes.
You know how much?
I don't think it's costing yet, is it? I don't know what time frame that was it. That was before me.
What was the cost of the chain link fence around the church?
Oh, $4,500, I think.
So much for the first year, and then it was.
Yeah, it was, it's not quite up yet, but it's close.
And then we pay so much a month? Until.
Hopefully it'll be down real shortly. You know, like it was on the,
Ready to go out a bit.
they did have the asphalt people look at it,
Asbestos.
asbestos, look at it, and then we'll get bids on removing that and then turn it down. So it'll be down shortly.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else?
I just have one question. So those that don't know who I am, my name is Nolan Stewart. I'm the new director of the Hancock County Learning Center. We are hosting an event on October 26th, and I've been working with Elizabeth on getting that event set up here in the park. Who am I going to reach out to after she's gone to make sure that that event is still happening?
Me.
Okay, good deal.
I'm trying to sit in here and learn something.
Okay.
And you try to teach an old guy computer skills or different computer skills and so forth. But I am designating all my time, or most of my time in here this week. And also, the good thing is, both, and I should put that, should say that, we'll talk about it in our next meeting, whenever we have one, we're gonna be interviewing people. But, both Elizabeth and Marcy have agreed to work part-time and help us out. Marcy will come in and help with the water bills and so forth. She made sure she's getting them out, just all that done this week and so forth. And same way with Elizabeth, she's going to come in and help at nights and so forth and weekends. Marcy will come in and help at nights. Neither one of them want to be in here during open hour days, but they will during their off hours. and help us get caught up. You know, make deposits in water bills and make sure I'm not screwing up too bad. And, but yeah, we're still gonna get help from both of them. We have to discuss wages and stuff, but they have both agreed to work. Anybody want to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
All those in favor say aye. Vote carried. And again, Peggy's got pie right there, so. Help yourself. You guys want something to sign your paper?
You know, north of 18, where they're going to put Crown apartments. Okay, the guy across the street now has 2 separate outside garages. Is that now okay, Britt? You can do that? No. We asked you to come to cross-train a building in our backyard. When we moved to town like 10 years ago, you said no.
Probably about 15. Gina Ferris is still here.
I don't know. I don't know that.
You can have a garage. If you have a garage, you can't split it out. You can only have one more building. A lot of people in town have done it.
Okay, so I see what you're saying, because we have a garage attached to our house. We can't have separate garage.
You're done.
Okay, all right, that was my question.
And I'm not even sure who you are.
I knew there was a reason.
This up and